My name is Fraser.
My name is Mark.
And we are the hosts of the geekiest show alive. To the outside world, we're ordinary geeks.
But in the Fab International Studios, we talk comics and find other geeks just like us. This is Geek of the Week.
This is Pull or Pass, the section on Geek of the Week, where we look at typically 3 comic books that have come out this week, and we say whether we're going to pull on them or pass. Now, if you're like, wait, what is this word, pull? Don't worry, I've got your back. So, when you go into a local comic book store and you pick up a comic, let's say you pick up a Ghostbusters issue, and you're like, oh, this is cool. I didn't know it was a film and a comic book. What? And it's luckily for you, it's a 1, or even if it's a 22, it doesn't matter. You pick it up. You're confident that you'll be able to follow along. You go to the clerk and you go, oh, can I have this issue, please? And like, oh, would you like to add this to your pull? And you say, yeah, sure, why not? Because you just blindly say yes when cashiers say stuff to you, because I do that. I have many cards.
I have seen this in real life.
I have many cards that I do not need because of this. And basically, it's sort of like a subscription, but less intense. Less like, oh, we need your money every week. You need to set up a direct debit. All that jargon. It's just like whenever a Ghostbusters comic or another comic you pick up that you add on your pull comes in, they'll keep it behind for you. And then you can come in one day and be like, oh, hey, pal, what's on my pull today? And goes, oh, here you go. And they sometimes bring out either a massive fold and just dump it and go, all of this is your pull.
Yeah.
Or they'll go, here's some 2 comics. Or, like, whatever. It's each to their own. But it's again, it's one of them. It's like, it's so chill. You can come in, like, once a month. You can come in every Wednesday when new comic books are out, if you're that keen.
Which I do sometimes.
I have been on both part of these spectrums. I'm sure you're the same. But, yeah, so basically, for this week, we're not doing a Marvel or DC book.
No.
What? We're going like super indie.
We're having an indie week.
Well, an indie week. And we're going to start it off with Oliver by Image, which is a very cool take on Oliver Twist. Mark, do you want to go into more detail on your thoughts of this book?
It's a post-apocalyptic take on Oliver Twist, and I put this on Pull or Pass like months ago. I spotted it. I spotted it as something that I really, really was very interested in a couple of months ago now.
Yeah, it was on your review when we did like a look.
It was on my look forward.
Yeah. I think 2 of them are actually.
And oh my goodness, the artwork.
Good, wasn't it?
Oh my! The artwork
Stunning.
is something else. The dilapidated Big Ben, the Nelson fallen off his column, and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. What a hell of a comic book this was!
Because you got again the post-apocalyptic themes in it, but you also got the like real like vivid look at London. So if that
broken
London as well, and sort of brought the 2 together, and it sort of engrossed you into this world. I really enjoyed as well, like they're doing something with Oliver, and this book. We should have started with the other one because this would have been better segue, but it doesn't matter. So another book we talked about this week was a first issue, which I don't feel set up the world enough for me. This set it up perfectly, and it also set up something interesting about this Oliver character. Now I won't go into spoilers for this one, because it's quite soon.
It's a very interesting sci-fi, isn't it?
Yeah, and they did one reveal for the Oliver character, which I was like, oh, that's nice, because it was a twist on what I was expecting. But then there's allusions that there's more to come for this character, and it was interesting that the world was cool, and so was the character.
I do feel it's more likely inspired by Oliver than a retelling of Oliver. But I have no problem with that.
There's no like awful doctor going, consider yourself.
Well, it would have started with Mr. Bumble, wouldn't it? Please, sir, I want some more.
Yeah, exactly.
Which wasn't in there at all.
Please, sir, I want some more London. It's a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, but it's beautiful.
So, here's my question to you, Mark. Do you want more?
I do. It's a pull for me.
Oh, that smile then. I was like, he's either going to really hate this.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad that it's a pull, because I'd have genuinely been very upset if this was bad.
You know what?
Because it's something I've been looking forward to for so long.
You know what I'm really tempted to do? Go into the comic book store, put the Oliver issue down and go, please sir, can I have some more? But have like my hands with the comic book. But I don't know if they'll misinterpret that me saying I want more comics.
They'll probably just look at you like the weirdo that you are.
But then I'll be
dear.
like, and then I'm like, do you get it? Because it's Oliver. And also, can I add this to my pull? So
only do it if it's a pretty girl.
The second one, I'll try. The second one, which I just talked about before, which should have flipped the order really, was Starcraft Soldiers by Dark Horse. Now, I sort of spoiled my opinions on this. I felt like they didn't really set up the world that much. But forget what I'm saying right now, because Mark's going to talk.
So, yeah, I played StarCraft and I loved StarCraft. The Terran, the Zerg and the Protoss. There wasn't any Protoss in this at all, which is kind of fine, because the Protoss are kind of legendary within the game itself.
Right, yeah. Sorry, yeah,
Ooh.
carry on.
No, go on.
Because I was like, I saw Blizzards and I was like, oh, aren't they the people who do Warcraft? So I was like, this is a game thing.
Yes,
yeah.
it's a game adaptation.
Video game, yeah. That's what I was thinking, because I was like, there was two books you were talking about in your review of the year. One was this one, I think, and one was one about like toy soldiers being a lot, or it might have been something, or someone might have just, I might have just dreamt that.
No, it wasn't StarCraft that I was looking forward to. It was the kind of 70s inspired pulpy thing that hasn't come out yet.
Maybe
and Oliver.
Maybe I just dreamt this then.
Yeah, you did.
Carry on with your thoughts.
StarCraft Soldiers is, I like the StarCraft world, but I just felt this was a little bit too tropey. The main character who comes from the swill, the area was called the swill, from like a very bad background, who then excels as a soldier, and then takes the hard route rather than the easy route. Yeah. It's very Star Trek. It's very tropey. It's very this has been done a lot of times before, and I don't know.
I'm heartbroken because this one was it. This one? No, it was this one. Is like co-written by one of my favorite comic book writers, Jodie Hauser. We probably talk about her books a lot in the on the show. We have done in the past, and we will in the future. Just so you know, it's not going to stop. So I was a bit disappointed by that. I was like, oh, I kind of wanted to like this, but again, we've just established it's a world that I'm not really familiar with. And
this is almost a flip of almost every conversation we usually have, where I'm going into a world that I don't really know, whereas I know this universe because I played StarCraft and I love StarCraft.
So it was literally just like Blizzard's like, oh, so I guess this is a video game, and then I was like, not really. I just wasn't buying it, and again, it's like what you said. It just seemed like your typical comic book, which I imagine would be. I'm imagining would be okay for some fans, but like for yourself, you might say you wanted more.
Well, I felt like I had a head start. I know this world, and I know, and I hit the ground running and understood what was going on. But it's not
left you wanting more.
It's not particularly vivid as a universe, really. I was surprised in the game itself. The Zerg are very, very disposable. The certainly the lower level grunts that you create in the game. It's like Warcraft. It's like
you build your sort.
You build your armies and you fight each other and stuff. And it's the Zerg. The whole point of the Zerg is there's even a gaming term, to Zerg, where you have lots and lots of disposable troops. And you just throw them at that's how I play all video games. I Zerg in all video games. Regardless of what I'm playing, I will Zerg.
Yeah.
And
buy yourself a bit of time.
The Zerg weren't portrayed like that in this comic. They were portrayed as these really quite scary, evil aliens, and they are. But they're scary because there's lots of them in the game, as opposed to scary because they're hideous monsters, which they're portrayed in this comic book.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It really clicked on me then what they are. I was like, oh, the putties from Power Rangers. Sorry, that was just my 90s brain.
They are a bit putties,
into the overdrive.
The whole Zerg tactic is to build an insane number of troops and then overwhelm people who have better troops than you.
You know what? Thanos Zergs, because he does it when attacking Wakanda with all the things. So it's a tactic all strong leaders use.
No, it's not. I always get trounced at video games because I Zerg and everyone knows I Zerg.
And then you're like, oh wait, I actually need to build an actual army here. Well,
there are other tactics other than Zerging. Really?
But so it was a pass for me. But again, I feel like it must have been that thing it sounds like because you know there's more, you kind of wanted more, or you just wanted more. I don't know.
I wanted right. So like a zombie apocalypse. There's the image of hundreds and hundreds of zombies coming towards the main protagonist. That's what I want from my Zerg.
Yeah, you want a bit.
So yeah, it was more kind of like the Alien out of Alien and Aliens franchise. The Zerg was this one Zerg was a scary, intimidating thing, and I don't know. It didn't sit right with me.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So the pass for both of us. Now, the last book we're going to talk about is Buffy the Vampire Slayer by Boom Studios. Now, there's been a lot of Buffy books.
Mate.
And there's a new one. It started up this week, and what was it? Well, it sounds like you
Buffy is important to me.
Buffy's important to me as well. We share the same last name.
Yeah, that's
true. But mine's spelled differently.
Yeah, well, Buffy is important to me because I absolutely adored the series, and it was so very 90s. Remember, Buffy is old now, the TV series. They didn't have mobile phones because when this program launched in 96, 97, that wasn't really a thing that you had. Or if you did, it's certainly not in the kind of technological way we did. And when I saw Modern Take, I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. You're a bit too concerned about it.
Peril changes in more modern TV and film because people have mobile phones. There are situations that you would have been in the 80s and 90s that you can just use your phone to get out of.
Exactly.
But Buffy was really special to me as a TV show. It was one of my biggest obsessions in my early 20s, and it's kind of part of. I still talk like the characters from Buffy.
I was going to say it's a part of who you are. And
it really is. It really is it's as important to me as Doctor Who, and Doctor Who is a huge thing.
Yeah. It's Doctor Who and Buffy. Dr. Summers.
So Buffy was very, very 90s, and I wasn't sure I wanted an update.
Yeah.
And I know they're doing the TV show as well, which I will watch. But what I didn't expect was I was expecting new designs for the characters.
Yeah.
They used Sarah Michelle Gellar. They used Tony Head and Nicholas Brendan and Alison Hannigan, and they were bang on as well.
Yeah. Lily.
Hey,
I was just like Lily from How I Met Your Mother.
Well, yes, but the artwork, you get a lot of bad actual people drawings in comics. Particularly Marvel UK stuff from like the late 90s, early 2000s. The Doctor Who stuff, it was like they were drawing someone completely different. But I digress. These were perfect likenesses.
Yeah, and I think the thing is as well, it wasn't not like for like, but it was still like you knew who the characters were, and you're like, okay, you took a base of this character, but you've not just used this character because you are modernising it in like how they would look at them, maybe as a because like It's easy to say. Teens in the 90s look different than teens now, and they've sort of managed to keep the likeness of the characters, of the actors, but make them like, okay, they're a modern teen. And I thought I really enjoy these sort of like modern retellings of stuff, like, because the stories would have ended up differently. And like, this is why sometimes reboots and stuff like that and revamps in comics are cool, like just seeing like, okay, this is what the world has been like for so long, but like if you look at like an Archie book or like even Marvel stuff like that, it's like that is dated.
Yeah.
And it's just like if you had that in the modern day, it's like you can just call someone up, or like this mad technology that Tony Stark's got. It's like, well, yeah, everyone's got that and stuff like that. And there's more. It's a different world we're in, and like to recognise that and sort of like bring it. It's like, okay, so this is how the stories would be told now, and I really did enjoy it, and I enjoyed the introduction into Buffy and into like just the whole group, like the whole group dynamic. I thought it was really cute.
There were some gentle self-aware references and some kind of like fanboy mark-out moments. I mean, the reference to Wolfram and Hart you probably didn't get, but the Wolf. When
Are you trying to say that I'm not a Buffy fan?
Did you watch the Angel series?
I didn't watch the Angel series.
Well, there you go. You don't know what Wolfram and Hart is.
I know, but still.
But what I'm saying is, for fanboys, there was a reference to Wolfram and Hart in the first episode of a reboot of Buffy, and I was like, oh, right.
Yeah, so it's fans writing it, and they're being like,
and I liked their choice of big bad because I was expecting it to be the Master, and it wasn't the Master.
Nice.
Their choice of first big bad is good.
Yeah,
let's not spoil it.
That's all we'll leave. But yeah, no, it's interesting because Buffy for me was always something I saw my older brother watching, and I always sort of like watched as a not as a side, as a backseat watcher, but I was always just like, I'm like, oh, this looks cool. Oh, that looks cool. So it's sort of cool, like that now that they're bringing this modern one out. So it's sort of
Buffy's something that I have treasured my entire adult life, and I liked this. I did, and I'm surprised I liked it because I was torn about the whole thing.
I think this is the one that
good.
This is the one that perked the reading up because, like I say, I was up at like 2 to 3 in the morning reading these, and the first one I read was the Starcraft Soldiers, and I was like, oh, what have I got myself into? And then I read Oliver, and I was like, oh, okay, that was pretty cool. And then I read this, and I was like, oh, my faith is restored. Now, that's not to say Starcraft was that bad. It was just like, I was just so out of my depth in Starcraft that I was just like, oh no, am I going to be out of my depth with all of this? But then Oliver was sort of like, oh, I dig this. Then Buffy sort of like brought back those things of, I remember being very little and seeing those and going, oh, they look cool. But that was literally...
I wasn't little in the 90s.
That's my Buffy. It's like, oh, that's cool. Well, my brother had like the VHSs, really.
Yeah.
Would have been VHSs. Wow. But what was on your pull or pass this week? What about these 3 books? Did you look at them? Did you actually check them out? Did you add them to your pull, or did you pass? Did you read them and say pass on them, like not going to read it anymore? Or did you just hear the idea of these and go, oh no, that's a pass from me? And what else was on your pull? What else did you bring out? What? Maybe Marvel DC book, I imagine some did. We're interested to know what you guys think. And like, guys, girls, geeks of all kinds. I'm trying to make that a thing because I kind of like that. But yeah, so we're interested. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Tumblr, and there's a YouTube section. Any way you can find us, find us on this middle of the street and go, hey, you're that Mark guy. Now that we've got video, people can actually see what we look like.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You're that Mark guy.
Not sure I like the YouTube channel.
I liked this too. I really enjoyed Buffy. Right. Who knows? You might even get to meet the number one fan of Buffy from there goes, oh yeah, you think you like Buffy, do you? Well, not as much as me.
I don't think I want to meet him.
Hey?
I don't think I want to meet him.
Could be him or her.
So listen to Geek of the Week. Be sure to tune in next week. Same geek time, same geek channel.
And if you want to follow us on social media, it's at GOTW Radio on Twitter. Search for Geek of the Week Radio Show on Facebook. And to listen again, it's www.mixcloud.com/Geek of the Week Radio Show.